She comes out to pray in the darkness of the night, revealing her true form, hideous and deformed. She waits to devour the human soul, emptying the victim's body of life in its true essence, intelligence and understanding. By the coming of day, by the time her feasting ritual is complete, she rejuvenates, transforms once again into the most beautiful one could ever imagine. And the victim? The victim is spellbinded under her power, till she has completed her course, fooled and deceived by her presence, slowly losing his mind, his ability to judge, and soon his consciousness, until he turns into nothing but dust to sway through the winds of the earth. Jeremy, are you still reading that book? You know we'll be heading out early tomorrow morning. Put that down and go to bed. Just one more minute, Mom. Jeremy, not now. There will be people expecting us there. We can't be late. Jeremy sighed and put his book away. His mother turned off the lights and closed his door. Tomorrow was the first day of summer vacation, and Jeremy's father was taking the family on a vacation to Florida to enjoy the sun and the water. Mr. Schneider would be there as well. He was one of Jeremy's father's co-workers. Jeremy wasn't too excited about the trip. There wouldn't be any other kids there, not even around his age. Jeremy waited a whole 5 minutes before flicking on his flashlights. Beware of the witch. There are witches of many kinds. They are all witches of the dark world, and this is just one of the many that feast on souls. If you ever fall upon one, Jeremy, you look like a mess. Come on, fix your hair. Put on a smile and be polite, okay? Jeremy yawned. I'll try. Jeremy couldn't wait to plop down on the hotel bed. He slept a few hours during the road trip, but he was still tired. Jeremy could see his father shaking hands with Mr. Schneider, but it was someone else that caught his eye. He squinted and looked closely at a young woman that was standing with Mr. Schneider. She looked unreal. How could a person look like that? It was like she was perfect. Too perfect. Who was she? Just then, Jeremy's father called everyone to come sit at the table. Jeremy couldn't stop looking at the woman sitting across from him on the other side. This is Laverne, my wife. Laverne, this is Richard. He works with me. And this is his wife, Jenna. And that right there is Jeremy. What's up, kiddo? Long time no see. How old are you now? I'm 11. Hello, Jeremy. Maybe we can be friends. Jeremy looked at Laverne stretch out her long fingers. Her nails were painted black. Her eyes sparkled, and her skin was unusually pale, making her black hair look even more dark. Jeremy was a little creeped out by her big smile. Her lips were colored with a shade of dark red. Jeremy nervously put out his hand. He was shocked by how cold her skin was. This was summer, in Florida. How could she be so cold? Jeremy got a strange feeling about this woman. But he noticed that his parents seemed to be all too impressed by her. And Mr. Schneider was all over her. They all had brunch together. during which Jeremy couldn't stop noticing how oddly Laverne behaved. All she did was pick on her food. She only ate pinches of it, and it seemed that she gulped it down with water. The two families were staying at the same hotel, a few doors down from each other. By the time it was evening, Jeremy and his family went to the room for the day. They were tired after the long journey. "You didn't tell me Schneider got married. How did he land a woman like that? She's beautiful. How did they meet?" "It was pretty recently. None of us at the office expected things to happen so fast. She was his intern. She's only in her early 20s, maybe half the age of Schneider. They all joke at the office saying Schneider's a fool, and she's a gold digger. Whatever the case, I have to talk to her about what she does to look like that. It's amazing." Jeremy was playing on his phone as he listened to his parents' gossip. He shrugged. "What's so great about her? I don't like her. There's something off about her. I get this strange feeling she's a soul-feasting witch." "Jeremy, it's not nice to say things like that about people." "Mom, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm serious. Did you guys see the way she was behaving? Why was her skin so cold? Why did her eyes sparkle like that? Why didn't she eat while everyone else was? Because that's not her food. She feasts on human souls. She's a witch. No wonder Mr. Schneider was behaving so weird. He's under her spell." "Jeremy, where do you learn these things from? You know, Mom, there are ways to test out if she's a human or not. Soul feasters can't tolerate—" "Jeremy, what nonsense are you saying? You better not say these things outside. We'll be spending the day at the beach tomorrow with the Schneiders, so don't even think about trying one of your silly pranks. I'm warning you. This isn't home. You'll have to be on your best behavior." Jeremy went to bed, but he couldn't sleep all night. All he could think about was a plan to expose Laverne for what she truly was. If she was. The next morning, Mr. Schneider and Laverne were waiting in the lobby. They all headed out to the beach. "Hey, what's that you're wearing? A paintbrush?" Laverne pointed at a locket that Jeremy wore around his neck. Jeremy held it and smirked. Perfect, he thought. He had totally forgotten. Witches can't touch pure things. And the purest of all things were newborn babies. This locket was made from none other than Jeremy's first baby hair. "My mom made it for me. It's a lock of my baby hair. It's a good luck charm. Wards away all evil. Wanna touch it?" Laverne quickly took her hand back. "Oh, wow, cool," she said, stepping back. Jeremy took off his locket and dangled it in front of Laverne. "Come on, touch it. It's soft." "No, that's all right, kiddo. I'll pass." "Why, it's just baby hairs." Jeremy quickly swiped the locket over Laverne's hand. Laverne let out a yelp. She held her wrist, furrowing her brows. "What happened?" Jeremy said, with wide eyes. "Did he do it? Did it work?" After a moment of silence, Laverne laughed out. "Nothing, kiddo, but I think it's time you get rid of that. It's kind of weird." Laverne chuckled as she went to join the others. Jeremy shrugged. It didn't work. Jeremy tried to follow everything that Laverne did during the time they were at the beach. Most of the time, she was sitting under her umbrella reading a book. Jeremy tried to sneak up on her, but he noticed every time he got closer, Laverne closed her book shut. What was she trying to hide? Later that afternoon, when everyone was having food that Jeremy's mom had brought, Jeremy thought he would try out a last test. Technically, if witches couldn't touch newborn babies, then they shouldn't be able to tolerate having eggs, right? Because eggs are newborn babies, right? But Laverne barely ate anything. "What happened, Laverne? You haven't eaten anything." "I'm not really used to this kind of food. I usually cook for myself at home." "So what is your favorite food then?" "It's a dish of my people. You wouldn't recognize it." "All right then, why don't you try this out? This is my favorite. Try it out, just a little. You might like it." "Mom, come on, tell Laverne to try this out. Didn't you specially make this for everyone?" "Yes, it's my favorite. Laverne, try it out. Tell me if you like it." Laverne looked here and there before nipping off a little and placing it in her mouth. Jeremy smirked, looking at the pretension on Laverne's face. She was hiding something. This wasn't what she ate. She feasted on human souls. Eating food was like eating dirt for her. But to Jeremy's disappointment, Laverne gulped it down with no reaction. At this point, Jeremy was losing hope. What else could he do? Until about an hour later, when Laverne told Mr. Schneider to take her back to the hotel early. She was feeling unwell. Jeremy got suspicious. Everyone returned to the hotel and decided to pass the time in the lobby gossiping, while Laverne took leave. Jeremy slipped out of sight and followed her. Laverne went up the stairs. She was murmuring something under her breath and rubbing her arms. He couldn't understand what she was saying, but it sounded weird. Jeremy had to get his hands on Laverne's little book. Maybe there was something in there. It was time for a little game of ding-dong ditch. It was the fourth time after which Jeremy knocked on Laverne's door that she went out searching the hall. When she started speaking to a hotel worker, Jeremy quickly sneaked in her room. He didn't have time to lose. He spotted Laverne's bag and quickly took out the book. But just then, he heard a noise behind him. Jeremy, so it was you all along. What are you hiding behind your back? Jeremy quickly sneaked the book onto the table behind him. Nothing. I just wanted to scare you. It was a silly prank. Just then, Mr. Schneider also came to the room. Jeremy, you're here? Jeremy's parents, overhearing his name, rushed to the room. His mother held her hips in disapproval. Jeremy, I told you, none of your pranks. You will be grounded for the rest of vacation, mister. Just then, Laverne came in between them. No, don't do that. He's so young. Suits him to have a little fun. Don't be so harsh. Jeremy nervously laughed. He was shocked to see Laverne didn't rat him out. Why would she save him like that? Jeremy left with his parents. He looked back at Laverne for a last time, confused. She waved at him and smiled. Jeremy felt a little embarrassed. Had he been giving her a hard time for no reason? Maybe she wasn't an evil witch after all. Maybe she was just weirdly nice. That little pest has harmed me enough today. He was lucky everyone showed up. Otherwise, I would have taught him a lesson. I have to feast. I have to replenish my energy. I must regain my strength. I must rejuvenate. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.